Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today, while I do my run, I wanted to share an interesting story, a quick story actually, about how I started into this lifestyle, how I got obsessed with running, cycling, hiking, and sort of everything in between. Um, Hopefully, a shorter video compared to the previous one. So let me just start my run so we can talk while we are running. Okay, today's run is going to be a shorter one, an easier run, so to speak. Again, in my sandals. I already did a faster tempo run yesterday in the shoes, um, and it's harder to talk while doing that one. So I usually try to do these videos as part of my easy runs. But yeah, back to the story. So it's an interesting one because years ago, my lifestyle was not what it is today. Really bad eating habits, almost no physical activity. I was very stagnant in life, focusing just on, work at the office and then coming home, watching Netflix, eating junk food, sleep, and then repeat. So my friend was like one of my very close friends. She was always encouraging me, trying to inspire me to get into better shape, or at least start doing regular any sort of physical activity, whether it's running, cycling, swimming, or anything. And I was sort of listening to her and watching her lifestyle. I was sort of leaning towards starting something, but the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak, was a party where I was, I wasn't drunk. I had like 3 beers maybe. But there was a guy. He was one of those, marathoners who always likes to talk about their runs. What's the latest time? How fast is he running? Which marathon or half marathon he's training for? So on and so forth. So usually he's a nice guy to be around with, but that day he was drunk like crazy and he was being extra obnoxious. And he was talking about how hard it is to train for marathon, especially for good times or like decent times. And I made an off-comment joke about, yeah, I can, be a decent marathoner with like less than a year worth of training. Now, full disclosure, at that time, I had not run that distance. So, no idea if I can actually do that. No idea what the definition of a decent time in marathon context is, I just said it. And then he looked at me and he was already aware of my lifestyle. So he said, with the state of your discipline or lack thereof, there's no way you can do it. And there's an off-comment thing, but it stuck with me. It pulled the right strings at my ego all those years ago. And I came back home and I ordered a fitness tracker. I took out my running shoes and I was like, I'm gonna do this. And then I started it. Then my friend, who is, already a good runner, she's a triathlete, she saw my runs, so she suggested that, so she offered to train me because she was already doing it for her, other friends and family. And I took on that offer. She asked me, hey, what your goals are? And, I was honest. Forget about goals. We want to run a marathon in less than a year's time so we can show up to this dude. That was the goal, nothing else. There's no incentive for physical fitness, nothing. It's just to show up one person. So that's how I got into it. And then eventually, started with the 5K, 10K. I did a bunch of half marathons. by the time I did my, I think, again, it's too windy, just like the last video. Every time I try to shoot a video, it's windy. But when I'm not shooting a video, it's not windy at all. But when I finished my, I think, third half marathon, by that time I was, even before I was running, before I got into running, I was aware of ultra running and trail running. I was following some of the big names on Instagram and other social media handles. So I was aware of it, and I always had the need to sort of do it once just to see how big of a challenge it is mentally. And like I said, by the time I had done my third half marathon, I had already gotten over the fact that I want to show it up to somebody else. You know, I was like content with, let's just do it for myself as opposed to, you know, someone else. So I got into, started trail running a bit more seriously, you know, doing it maybe like on, you know, once or twice a week over the weekends. Started training a bit more seriously for my first 50K, and haven't looked back since. Done a bunch of ultra distances, races, and some of my solo expeditions as well. My cycling story is a bit more straightforward. Between two races, I actually got an IT band injury. So, but it wasn't that serious. Like, I had issues with running, but I can do like other activities which are not that intensive, like low intensity cycling. So I bought a bike, started cycling just to, you know, make sure that I'm moving my legs, but I wasn't like training for crazy races for bike, because I know if I do, I could worsen my injury. So very low intensity cycling, and I liked it so much so that I got obsessed with the concept of bike packing and how much you can explore the world on bike. I was always a fan of hiking too, so this trio of activity, you know, running, hiking, or trail running, cycling, this sort of became my new jam. Depending on which day you ask me my favorite sport is, it could be cycling or running. It's kind of like, I don't know if my mic is catching this wind, but yeah. So yeah, to conclude, you know, depending on which day you're asking me, you know, it's like odd days, cycling is my favorite. Even days, running is my favorite. But yeah, that's my story about how I got into, you know, this whole thing. And now here I am trying to make videos about it while I'm doing my easy runs in my sandals. I'll probably make a video about how I transitioned from, you know, not doing any sort of run in minimalist footwear to, you know, doing long distances like almost 50 kilometers in sandals or Vibram 5 fingers. So yeah, watch out for that video as well. But let me finish this video by showing you the same view I showed you last time near Exchange Place right across New York City. Would be a fitting end to this video. I'm almost at the point right across World Trade Center. So it's the same route. Since I am running pretty late again, I did an experiment with my running routes a lot. The next day I might go out for a bike, so I'll record my cycling workout Okay, so we are here. Hopefully you guys like the video. If you guys like it, please like, share, subscribe, you know, the whole shebang that people say when they make YouTube videos. This is the background view. Again, same view as the last video, nothing new, but for the people who might be watching this one as the first video of my channel, this is it. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.